Welcome to Vibration for Meditation YouTube channel. In this video about the art of meditation, maybe a way of getting into touch with reality. The rationale for it is that most civilized people are out of touch with reality because they confuse the world as it is with the world, as they think about it, speak about it, and describe it. On the one hand, there's the real world, and on the opposite hand, an entire system of symbols about that world, which we have in our minds. These are very useful symbols. All civilization depends on them. But like all goodies, they need their disadvantages. The main problem of symbols is that they are easily confused with reality. Of course, reality may be a dangerous word in the eyes of a philosopher. A philosopher will inquire from me what I mean by reality. Am I pertaining to the physical world? Or am I talking a few spiritual world? Or what, and thereto? I have a very simple answer. When we talk about the material world, that's actually a philosophical concept. So if I say that reality is spiritual, that's also a philosophical concept, and reality itself isn't a concept, and that we won't call it that. For instance, it's amazing what doesn't exist within the real world. For instance, within the real world, there are not any things, nor are there any events. That does not mean to say that the real world is a perfectly featureless blank. It means that it is a marvelous system of wiggles in which we describe things and events. Within the same way as we would project images on a Rorschach plot, or pick out particular groups of stars in the sky, and call them constellations as if they were separate groups of stars. They're groups of stars within the mind's eye. In our system of concepts, they're not out. They're as constellations already grouped in the sky. So, within the same way, the difference between myself and everyone, the rest of the universe, is nothing more than an idea. It's not a real difference, and meditation is that the way in which we come to feel our basic inseparability from the whole universe. And what that needs is that we shut up, that's to say, that we become interiorly silent, and stop the endless chatter that goes on inside our heads. Because, you see, most folks think compulsively all the time. That is, we ask ourselves. I remember once I was a boy. We had a standard saying that talking to yourself is the first sign of madness. So, in just the same way, if I feel all the time, that's to say, if I ask myself all the time, I do not have anything to think about except thoughts. And thus I'm living entirely in the world of symbols. And I'm never in relationship with reality. Right now, that is the first basic. There's another sense, and this is often going to be a little bit more difficult to understand. Why we could say that meditation doesn't have a reason, or doesn't have a purpose. And during this respect, it's unlike most other things that we do, except perhaps making music and dancing. Because once we make music, we do not do it in order to reach a certain point, like the end of the composition. If that were the aim of music, then obviously the fastest players would be the simplest. And so, likewise, once we are dancing, we aren't aiming to arrive at a particular place on the floor as we would be if we were taking a once we dance. The journey itself is that the point. Once we play music, the playing itself is that the point. And precisely the same thing is true in meditation, which is that the discovery that the point of life is always arrived at in the immediate moment. Therefore, if you meditate for an ulterior motive, that's to say, to improve your mind, to enhance your character, to be more efficient in life, you have your eye on the future and you are not meditating, because the future is a concept. It doesn't exist. Because the proverb says, tomorrow never comes. There's no such thing as tomorrow. There never are going to be. Because time is always now. And that's one of the things we discover. Once we stop talking to ourselves and stop thinking, we discover there is only a present, only endless now. So, it's funny then, isn't it, that one meditates for no reason in the least, except, we could say, for the enjoyment of it. And here I might interpose the essential principle that meditation is supposed to be fun. It isn't something you do as a grim duty. The difficulty with religion, as we know, it is that it is so mixed up with grim duties. We roll in the hay because it's good for you. It is a kind of self-punishment. Well, meditation, when correctly done, has nothing to try to do with all that. It is a kind of digging into the present. It is a kind of grooving with the eternal now, and brings us into a state of bliss, peace, where we will understand that the point of life, the place where it's at, is just here and now. Then you must determine what meditation is, contemplation in the Christian sense, as well as meditation in the Asian sense. Meditation has most likely been used. Yogis and gurus introduced to this country, all those superstitious conventional folks who are thus mechanical. So, we'll have to wait and see. What exactly is meditation? Do you want to get involved? Is it amusing to you? Or do you really want to do it? Is it a type of recreation? Meditation. Let me learn meditation first. Then, I'll act appropriately. Do you comprehend the game that is being played? Or, if there is actual order in one's life? As we indicated, what is meditation? Is it based on particular systems or approaches, such as the Zen method, Buddhist meditation, Hindu meditation, or the current guru's meditation? They're usually beardy, full of money, and all that other nonsense. So, what exactly is meditation? What happens to the human brain if it is determined, if it is following a system, a technique, and practicing day after day, it becomes quite monotonous. Have you not noticed? When you repeat, even if it's the incorrect tone, you'll keep doing it. If a pianist repeats himself and plays the erroneous note, he will continue to play the wrong note indefinitely. Is meditation thus something altogether different? It has nothing to do with technique, system, or practices. Hence, it can never be mechanical. Conscious meditation is never possible. Do you get what I'm saying? Please keep this in mind. What's the difference between a man intentionally seeking money and pursuing money? You meditate consciously, hoping to obtain calm, stillness, and all that. As a result, the man who seeks money, success, and power, and the one who seeks so-called spirituality are the same. Is there a meditation that isn't determined or practiced? There is, but it needs a lot of focus. That attention is a flame, and it is not something you come to later, but rather attention now to everything, every word, every gesture, every thought. To give entire attention, not half attention. If you are only half listening right now, you are not providing your whole attention. When you are entirely focused, there is no ego and no constraint. And short, the brain is now packed with knowledge. There is no room in it, and one must have space. There must be space. Space is synonymous with energy. When there is no space, your energy is severely constrained. And the brain, the speaker, is not a brain specialist, though he has discussed it extensively with other scientists, and so on. Not that. This is a recommendation. They experiment on animals, on theories, on the accumulation of knowledge. But we are not scientists. We are laymen, ordinary people, humble and curious. There is a meditation that has not been decided or molded. I will not get into it. So the brain, which is now so heavily weighted with information, theories, power, status, and perpetual struggle, has become congested. It has no place, and true freedom is having that boundless room. The brain is extremely competent, with endless ability, yet we have reduced it to such a little and petty size. So, when there is that space, and emptiness, and thus enormous energy. Energy includes passion, love, compassion, and intellect. Then there is that most holy, most sacred truth, that which man has sought from time immemorial, and that truth is not found in any temple, mosque, or church, and there is no way to get there but through questioning, investigating, and learning about oneself. There is also that which is eternal. I think this video may help you to have some idea about meditation in your mind. Anyway, don't forget to write it down in the comment section and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video.